Alright, hey guys, everything new under the sun. It's going to be a quick and dirty tour of the Airstream post the first camping trip that we had. So, I'm going to go down to the back and you can pan around as you would like. And this is the kind of the completed version of the Airstream that we did go camping in. Went for a long weekend, went to a music festival, and that was a lot of fun. Everything worked out really well. There was a rainstorm one night and there was no apparent leaks. So it worked really well. So what we have back here, and like I said, you can pan around, it's a 360 video. So what we have down here on the ground, this is where our youngest daughter, Ivy, slept. In the crib. She's not a baby anymore, but the crib just worked well as a bed. To the my right hand side here we have the porta potty. This is a Serene Light porta potty. I did the review on. Worked out very well. It's good for little kids if they have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. If I come around here, you can see this is the kind of the electronics, the solar. It's very roughed in right now, simply because it's still in progress. I still have to work on it. Let me back up here. So what we did do is we got these curtains made up just to provide a little bit of privacy for the bathroom there. So that worked out really well for what we're using it for. We've got curtains on the back. Again, those are kind of temporarily put up. I still need to clean some of the glazing or the tinting on the window. Makes it look all bubbly, but the mirror is nice and shiny. So we have cleaned it all out. I'd say if we move back here, then on either side we can see the single beds here, and this is where the two other kids sleep. We just got some foam pads that are about 3/4 inch thick. What we were using before was couch pillows actually in here for the weekend, and that worked out really well. We cleaned up and fixed all the storage. So if you'll recall, I was installing a bunch of these magnetic fasteners on the top sections here. And of course this is the bathroom cabinet, but yep, we were able to use them all for clothing, etc. So it worked out really well. And they're tight, they didn't open. I think maybe one opened because I had our French press in there and it was a little too heavy. I do need to remember I need to keep this video under 10 minutes, otherwise I think we'll split it in two. So yeah, bare bones here. The kids were able to keep their clothing and stuff, and us as well, in the bottom compartments. If I go down here, you can see that this is the garage, and so this is where I kept my jacks, my stands, my other things, and of course on the other side is the battery compartment and our shoreline there. I do not have the 120 volt working. I'm not going to worry about that. We don't really need it. I do have the inverter, so when we need 120 volt power, I've got this extension cord running back to the 600 watt inverter, 1200 watt surge, and that works out very well. Mainly we used it for grinding coffee in my little grinder there, so that worked out well. This is a TV stand, of course, which we're probably not going to use. Let me see here. Still going, just okay. The screen disappeared on me, but still going. This is a TV stand. Of course, you'd have an old CRT on this. We don't use this obviously, but there's a little TV up front, which I'll show you in a second. So if we move into the kitchen section here, then what we can see, what I'm looking at, if you look ahead of me, is, so we've got the sinks on the right hand side. It's all nice and clean. We've got the water going, and for the water I have a fresh water tank down under the table right there, which I just set up underneath the sinks here. And sorry for all the panning around. Hopefully that's kind of looking in the right direction. But yeah, I set it up down there along, you'll see the propane tank under there as well. And so we were able to make use of that, and the top of the stove just for boiling water for coffee, things like that. And we had a nice wash basin, so that worked out really well. Got some overhead storage for the kitchen supplies. We also cleaned out and Mac-tacked this whole pantry area, so this now holds all the dishes and the pots and pans. Everything's cleaned out, sanitized, works out really well. This is one of the remnants of the Oops, I just leaned on that thing. Of the old camper, obviously the fridge, and this fridge does not work. I've tried to get it working. The coolant is all gone in the pump of it, so Freon, whatever was in there. This needs to be torn out, this whole section here. That's quite a job, though. I plan to replace it with a compressor-based mini fridge. Those are really excellent for basically low energy fridges. You have to be concerned that there's bubbles in the Freon. You have to let the fridge sit a little while. You know, it shouldn't really be bumping around in the back of the trailer. But, you know, you have to really abuse it for the bubbles to cause problems in this day and age with the Freon fridges, the compressor-based fridges. And for the price of it, it's easily replaceable. So what I'll do is replace this with a little mini compressor fridge, and it will run off solar power a lot better. We are running our cooler, and it draws about 4 amps. But that 4 amp is 24/7, so 24 hours a day it's pulling 4 amps off the battery, off the solar. So during the day when it's sunny out like today, you know, it's great. You know, it's pulling in the solar power is pulling in 4 or 5 amps to run it. But then at night you got to supply 4 amps per hour to it constantly. And so what I was doing was I'd unplug it at night, leave it outside. It would stay cool till the morning, and then in the morning plug it in again. But then if you have a cloudy day where you're not quite getting 4 amps, well, then you're in trouble again, and so that's not ideal. If we swing around to the front, then we've got our couch. This is a old camper couch, not old actually, newer camper couch, probably less than 10 years old, that I got from someone who was taking their couch out of their camper. And what you do is you fold this guy down. I'm at 7 minutes, 3 minutes left here. Fold this guy down, and then an air mattress comes out, and the air mattress is blown up with 120 volt power. So again, that's what we use the inverter for, and that pumps it up quite nicely. I don't like having an air cushion, an air mattress for the bed, because you got to pump it up and let the air out every morning. It's much nicer just to have cushions that you just put down. You don't have to worry about, you know, getting holes in the air mattress, etc. But it is what it is. It also doesn't really fit nicely with the curve of the Airstream. You can see a whole lot of space wasted kind of around the corner there, and nothing you can do with that. In terms of the table worked out really well. Basically what we did was we had 3 kids sitting around the table, and then we would either, you know, stand in the kitchen or sit at the couch and eat. What's on the ground is a outside floor mat, so that we can take our shoes off before we come into the camper. So we treat it like a boat. And we try to take our shoes off at the floor mat here, so we're not tracking stuff in. We got 3 little fold-up chairs for the kids to sit at while they're eating. What else is notable? Of course, I have the TV here. I want to hook this TV up to an external antenna so we can actually get a station or two, just for fun. You don't need TV when you're camping, but just for fun. One thing we did do here is we stamped the officially registered aluminum badge for the Airstream, the Dawn Treader, and so you can see that Dawn Treader. Hope it's in focus there. I guess I shouldn't get too close, but it's officially registered Airstream. You can go to airstream.com, and they'll send you one of these for free if you have an Airstream. You just got to register your Airstream. That's pretty neat. So very quickly, some projects for the future. We need to kind of clean up and repaint the ceiling here. We need to maybe do shiplap around where it's gray on the bottom there, and I do need to finalize these guys, but this wasn't a project for this year. I'll do that over the next year maybe, and get these going with maybe... I was thinking about getting the 120 volts working, but I'm thinking against that now and just leaving it 12 volt. I do need to replace the skylight up top here. It didn't leak that I noticed, but I know it has been leaking in the past, so I need to seal that as well. So I'm going to leave it here. This is getting up on 10 minutes, but that's a quick little 360 tour of the Airstream. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.